building, bitch. We in the building. We in the building. We in the building. We in the building, bitch. We in the building. Finally! Now, I'm kidding. We're not doing that intro right now because that would be a disservice to my guy, RZeroB, who is not here tonight. So instead, I'm joined by the illustrious and very, very handsome Justin Pennick. And Kush is here too, y'all. What's going on? Kush, your camera just died. Perfect. It was perfect timing for your camera.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Didn't you just introduce me?
I did. I said Kush is here too. And it went whoa.
Y'all do your intros. Hopefully, let me get this thing back up. It shouldn't take too long.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. So shout out to Tornado 3Z, who's been in this chat since 7:43. Sir, you are a maniac, but I appreciate your support. And also shout out to Don Vito. What's going on, Chris? My guy, Chris. Chris, you excited about that Publix? Because I was excited about that Publix. So yeah, gentlemen, thank you guys very much for coming in. And hey, listen, it took me to find two guys just to replace RZeroB tonight. Okay. True. And so listen, we're going to try to give you as good of a show as we can. We know that RZeroB is the show. He's
two big guys.
Listen, he's two big guys. I don't know. Justin's not big anymore.
I know, I'm tiny.
He's still of good stature.
True.
But he's shrinking though.
Mm-hmm.
He's not shrinking in height though.
No, but he see the thing is that he's getting. Listen, we're gonna see pictures of Justin. He's gonna be absolutely ripped, right? He's gonna be like, bam! He's gonna be super ripped, and we're gonna be like, who in the hell is that?
What's the secret, Justin? What's the secret to cutting all that weight?
The secret's my program. I'm on this program, and it's called Octavius. So I'm actually trying to reach out to them to see hey, you kind of
Otto Octavius, bro.
Like Otto Octavius.
Octavius, okay.
It replaced the C with the P, and you got Octavius. So I'm trying to reach out to them to see if they want to work with me and stuff like that. Because also their program is kind of low key expensive, and I want them to send me free things. So also part of it.
I'm mad at it. Hey, listen, free stuff is the best stuff. Free stuff is the best stuff. Okay, so we got quite a bit of content here that we want to talk about. A lot of things have happened over the course of the last week, and we want to try to get this all said and done within the typical hour 15. Kush has to go and be a superstar with BBS, who is in the house. And so we're gonna get this knocked out. So okay, first things first. Okay, let's get the obvious out of the way. There was a major cut today. I'm sorry, was it today or was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Mm-hmm. It was a major cut yesterday, and we made the decision to go on ahead and part ways with our what we all thought was going to be our CB1 going into the season. James Bradbury, he's gone. So Kush, I'm going to start with you, man. What was your initial reaction to seeing that news? How did you feel? What did you think?
So my initial reaction was expecting it. I feel like even if it happened earlier, we were all expecting it. I was just wondering. It's funny because an hour before Bradbury got released, I put out my video, which was basically talking about, hey, Joe Shane, the weekend it came, it was here, it's gone. Bradbury's still with the team, bro. What's up? That was literally the entire video because we all heard him on the WFAN interview last week. I forgot which show, but it was on WFAN. He's like, unfortunately, using the word unfortunately, that thing is going to come to a close this weekend. Heavily implying Bradbury was going to be cut. Just confirming what most fans were expecting. My thing is, my immediate reaction, I guess, was to think, all right, there was really no trade offers that he liked. And I'm not even thinking necessarily in terms of what they were getting back. Maybe a team just didn't want to take on Bradbury's contract, and they were like, you guys have to eat the contract. And at that point, he was probably like, might as well just cut him loose anyway, and we need to get our draft picks signed. I'm seeing tweets all over the place of other teams actually signing their draft picks. I haven't seen a single one for the Giants yet. So they just want to move forward with that is my thing.
All right. Okay. And Justin, so what did you think when you first saw the news?
what I first thought is my brain goes to a million different places because Joe Shane says, and there were reports that were out there that there actually were offers for James Bradbury on the table. So then it's like, well, should I be mad? Should I be frustrated that he's just being flat out cut and he's not traded and we don't even get, like, whether it's a next year, a day 3 pick next year? Should that be like a little bit of a frustration point? Or should I just be like, hey, this end kind of, we have no choice to release him because of other things that we don't know what goes on. So what I think basically the conclusion that I've reached and some things that have come out is Bradbury would have had to agree to some kind of terms with the new team that he was traded to, even though he had a year left on his deal. So it wasn't just the Giants finding their trade partner with another team, but it was also if James Bradbury and that other team could find some sort of deal that they could have worked out. So I guess that's how his contract works, and that's just how it works. So I guess I can't be that really mad at Joe Shane. It sucks. It sucks because we're now looking at the secondary, which we're looking at that at the start of the 2020 season and especially the start of the 2021 season. We're saying that that's the strongest unit on the team is the secondary, right, between the safeties and the corners. And now we're looking at it and we're saying that's one of the weakest areas on the team, arguably the weakest, especially at cornerback. So it sucks because James Bradbury was such a fun guy, especially 2020, having that All-Pro, Pro Bowl quality year. And now less than 2 years later, he's gone.
Not just to add on to what Justin is saying, with the secondary, well, I'd probably say our linebacking core still probably is, Martinez coming off the ACL.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think corners, your corners can cook you
up there
more
now.
than your linebackers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
With Bradbury, though, not just a fun guy, Justin, I just say he was a perfect Giant. The man didn't even make any type of fuss over this entire situation when he had every right to, by the way. Mm-hmm. This man had every right to say, I am unhappy with this right now. My contract, I reworked it many times trying to work with this organization. Now they're kicking me out of here. I've given this organization my all. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had every right, but he's been nothing but good with it, and so has his team.
Super professional. And for me, right, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming after that interview last week with Joe Shane. I knew it was coming. It was like, all right, well, there goes Bradbury. And I figured if when he was talking like, hey, we're going to have this figured out by the end of the week, I knew, okay, they couldn't figure out anything with trades. Yeah. So hey, listen, it is what it is. I have continuously preached to y'all not to be married to none of these players because any of them can be gone. Okay, like we think that some of these players that the team was fielding calls on are safe now. I don't think they are. Like, I don't think that these guys are done. I wouldn't be surprised if another big move happens, a big trade happens, a big cut, or some kind of crazy restructure. It wouldn't surprise me at this point because what we are witnessing is an actual rebuild happening right now. I know that Shane said that they want to build and compete, and that's cool. But I learned my lesson about listening to these damn GMs when they talk. I've learned my lesson. Okay, I don't believe nothing they say. I just wait and see what they do. What we've been doing really makes me feel like they are absolutely all in on a rebuild here. And I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop because I do not think they're done. What do you think, Kush? You think more moves could be coming?
I definitely think that more moves could be coming. I'm not sure if I'm going to go as big as you are, or at least what you're implying. What I think is that it's in the cards for us to sign one of the many remaining vet cornerbacks left. We could definitely just move forward with what we have, move forward with Aaron Robinson as a number 2 and whatnot. But we do know that Adoree Jackson has a little bit of injury concerns with good reason. Knock on wood, thank God last year his injuries weren't too bad. I think he was only out for at most 3 games. But guess what? We had somebody that he wasn't even the number 1, right? So I'm definitely looking at the free agents list, a name that popped out to me a couple months ago when the whole Bradbury speculation started, when Joe Shane was talking about $40 million, and then it pops out to me again, given recent events, was Jimmy Smith, because with the Ravens, he was with Wink. A lot of people say that they're not sure if they want him because of his age and because he might not be who he once was. I'm not asking Jimmy Smith to come in here and be the number 1. I'm asking him to come in here and possibly be the number 2 or even number 3, and just to have somebody there that knows what they're doing with this system. And then also With the rebuild thing, I'm taking a little bit of a different approach. I agree with the one point you said. I'm not listening to the GMs, but I'm also just done trying to predict what we're doing, because there's times when we were supposed to rebuild and it looked like we were trying to win, and then there's times when we were trying to win and it looked like I should have rebuild. Now I'm just like, I'm gonna wait to see what the first month of the season looks like, and then based off of that, maybe then I'll give an answer as to whether or not we're rebuilding or trying to win.
Shout out to Big Blue in the Bronx. I see you. Shout out to Blue City Empire Sports. How y'all doing, man? Thank y'all for being here, kicking it with us.
What up, Alex?
Justin, what are your
and
thoughts?
Logan
man?
there too.
In terms of the whole, like, I guess expectations heading into the season, that whole thing, I'm expecting better. Flat out, I'm expecting better. I want more wins. I want more points. I want better performances, and I want better quality football games that I can feel good sitting through quarters 1 through 4. Because especially being a regular season ticket holder, that's also how I evaluate the Giants too.
Yeah, same.
There's a difference between going 6-10 in 2015 and going, what did we have? 5 wins in 2020. Now I know we weren't in the stands in 2020, but there's a difference between having those kinds of games in 2015 where they're scoring points and the games are coming down to the last minute and they're heartbreakers, yes. But the Giants were just more of a fun team to root for in 2015.
Right.
Versus 2020 and 2021, yeah, they're winning similar amounts of games, 4 games, 5 games, 6 games. It's all kind of like in that same ballpark, right? But the quality of football that's being played is just so terrible. It's unwatchable. It is just flat out unwatchable. And if you're at least going to be a team that's going to be mediocre to bad, at least be somewhat entertaining. And the Giants just have not been. Versus those 2010s, those 20-teens teams that they had, those teams were still entertaining because he had Eli Manning slinging around and the offense will put up 30-plus points. I'm sick and tired of having an NFL offense and rooting for a team that has an offense that is stuck in the 1990s. I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. And that is
what's hilarious? Oh, go ahead. No, finish up.
No, and that is what Brian Dable is hopefully going to bring. Where, I am expecting flat out. I am expecting flat out better than 4 wins this year. Like I think fans should. I don't think fans should feel like that's an unrealistic mountain to climb, is getting past 4 wins. This roster isn't drastically different than it was last year. So really, they should get more than 4 wins, and it does rest on coaching, and it does rest on this offense scoring more than bottom of the barrel points than they did last year.
Now, I got a question for you though, Justin. So put your Joe Shane cap on for a second, and you have to make. There is one more move that you get to make before we start the season. There's one more move you get to make. What move are you making, and why?
I'm trading Saquon Barkley.
Let's go. Okay, tell me why.
I do think the Giants should have traded Saquon Barkley instead of releasing James Bradbury. If there was a way to clear up cap space while also not putting dead cap on the books, because if you trade Saquon Barkley, you save $7 million with no dead cap, versus if you release James Bradbury, you save $10 million. So it is more, but you also have a dead cap of $11 million. Now the Giants are at a point where you don't really have to worry about dead cap. What does dead cap mean when you're already approaching the season? Free agency's over, and all you have to do is get this draft class signed. But I am trading Saquon Barkley, not necessarily looking at it from the sense of, okay, here's what it means for 2022, but I'm trading Saquon Barkley for what it means for the future, that you're not guaranteeing yourself and you're not putting yourself into a tough situation where you have to extend him for years to come. And I think that will be a thing where if they do extend him, that will impede the rebuild.
What's the price tag? What's the price tag for Saquon?
For trading him or extending him?
Well, for trading him. What are you asking for? Yeah, what are you asking?
A late day 2 pick.
A late day 2 pick.
So a team that's odds are they're competing and they're going to be good this year. So
wait a minute.
If it's a team like the Chiefs, if it's a team like the Bills, aren't going to take him because they just drafted James Cook. But if it's a team like the Chiefs, go ahead.
Wait, are you talking about a second or a third? Because you said day 2. So
if it's late, so I'm talking.
If it's late, you're talking about the third.
Round 3, yeah.
Okay. Third round pick.
I have 2 things to say. One of them is going to be kind of both to both of y'all, but to the point Justin was saying before, the Saquon Barkley trade with the Giants, not a fun team to watch. I had a meeting today where it was just like a business meeting, and people in there are casual fans of the Giants, right? We're not casual fans but we're, I don't know if our callers diehards, but then again, we do devote a good amount of our time to it, so maybe we are diehards. But we were speaking to casual fans, and they're like, I don't think I've watched a Giants game in like 6 years. And I'm like, well, yeah, they've been bad. And then it was like, but they've been bad for 10. When I was watching them 6 years ago, they were still fun to watch. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. And it's funny that, Jesse, you brought it up, because I was literally just talking, just a random person about that today. And then the second thing with the Saquon Barkley trade, this is just an open-ended question to both of y'all. Why do you guys think they kept him if it was possible that, we could just clear up the cap, we could keep our defense together, which has been the stronger part of this team over the past couple of years, and we'll just, kind of sacrifice a little bit of the offense? Do you think that Brian Daboll really believes he could use Saquon as a big focal part of the offense that much, or do you think it's something else that's made them keep him?
I think Daves and Kefka think that they can turn Saquon Barkley into the best thing ever. That's what I think. I think they, in my opinion, they think they can make this kid the best thing you've ever seen. Now, here's the deal: if they do that, then cool, right? I don't know.
Well, if they do that, it's more than cool. I'll say that.
Well, no, because then we find ourselves in a real bad spot. Because we have to make a decision as to whether or not we're going to re-sign Saquon. If Saquon is a beast next year, he's probably gone. So it would have been better to just trade him now and get something for him. If Saquon has a monster year, he's going to look at Joe Shane and say, "Hey, yo, where my money at?" Mm-hmm. He's not. Listen, I know we love Saquon. I know Saquon's a team player. He's a great leader. He's a great person. The whole 9 yards. But at the end of the day, he's trying to get his money like everybody else.
Big. Yeah, every player should have that.
And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at no player for saying, "Oh, you gonna pay me more over there? I'm out." Let me tell y'all a little secret. Okay.
Wait, real quick. Who was the most recent running back to sign a contract? Anybody remember?
Was that McCaffrey? Was McCaffrey?
Is it still CMC? Because I feel like he signed it a good amount of time ago.
I feel like Nick Chubb from Cleveland signed.
It was Chubb, yeah.
Did he sign a monster contract?
It was
no. That's what I was about to say. I'm like
a friendly.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not
deal.
out of the realm of possibility that he still gets a bag that's not a monstrous bag.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't put it past him, but at the end of the day, he need to get his bag, and I can't be mad at him for getting his bag. Let me tell you a little secret. I enjoy my job, and they pay me well. But if Justin Pinnock says to me, "Hey, PTA Sports, John Boy wants you in New York City tomorrow. We get ready to cut you 6 figures." I'm gone, baby. I'm getting in my car. I'm driving up to 95. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
You get ready to cut me
a
7-figure check? I'm coming tomorrow.
I just want to say,
I'm hitting in broadcast. I'm getting in my car and I'm driving up to Jersey right now.
I completely forgot this guy's on the Giants, bro. Gary Brightwell.
Yeah,
I forgot this man's on the Giants.
He's not going to make the team. He's not making the team.
No, I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, you know what? And I believe that there was another player, Justin. I think it might have been you when I was watching Talking Giants, or somebody else I saw it on Twitter brought it up. That we drafted recently, Matt Pert. I saw somewhere that Matt Pert might not even make the team. I'm like, I don't know about that one, but is it?
Somebody's gonna have to go, man. And I know we're jumping around topics here, but I mean, hey, we're just talking Giants.
Yeah, we're just talking Giants. Okay, yeah, it's Giants talk. So we just talk whatever we want to talk. That's the beauty of not having a conglomerate over me. We don't have to follow a script. We just talk about shit.
So somebody's gonna have to go. I mean, if you even look at the edge room too, where it's like these are groups, these are guys that it's like it's not a good group of guys, it's not a great group of guys, but there's names, and that is what really is making year one of Joe Shane different from really any year of Dave Gettleman. Is that there are at least names that it's like, okay, if these guys have to go into a football game, I'm not scratching my head. Like hey, remember the days of Nate Ebner getting week 2, week 1 snaps because he just needed to be out there? And it's like, well, we just have no depth. And that was in the secondary, which we thought we had depth. Nate Ebner found his way to get significant playing time.
How the hell did he do that? How the hell did he do that?
Joe Judge, that's how.
I don't think that's going to be the case this year where, is Dane Belton and maybe like Yusuf Corker is an undrafted guy that I think is going to make the team. If those safeties that are out there, is it the worst? Is it great that they're on the football field? No, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And then you were talking about Matt Parrott. Like, somebody's going to have to get cut. Like, there's a lot of interior offensive linemen that are on this team right now. None of them are great, but like, somebody is going to have to go, whether it is a guy like Parrott, whether it is a guy like Max Garcia. Somebody's gonna have to go. Not everybody's gonna make it.
Let me ask you this.
Wait. Because here's a name that I haven't heard in a long time. Look at this. I haven't heard this name in forever. Is this guy
because
still alive?
he's never played, bro. Like, can we all agree he's gone? He's gone. He's never played, bro.
I haven't heard this guy's name in like 3 since the day we drafted him. I haven't heard
bro.
This
He's
guy's
never
name at all.
Listen, Sam Beal is a non-factor, all right? Let's just keep it at that. He's a non-factor.
Who the fuck is Sam Beal?
But let me ask you this, Justin. Between Matt Pert and Matt Gano, I don't know if you've even thought about this. Who's better, bro? Like, in your opinion?
Well, here's the thing. Parrott's coming off the ACL.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Parrott did it late last year. So it's not even like he did it early last year or he did it 2 years ago. And this is the whole thing.
He's going to be on the pup. He's going to be on the pup.
Yeah, so they may have to get something funky going on with this. Is Gates too? Gates is also in this conversation of they may have to do something funky with. But I mean, if with keeping these guys on lists, I always like to say that, like, put them on a list, put them on some phantom list where you don't have to worry about them for 4 to 6 weeks. But here's also the thing with the pup. Now they changed it. They changed it where it's now. Whether it's like half a season or 12 weeks, they changed it where it used to be like 4 weeks at a time. You could put somebody on this like short IR or pup, whatever. And now they changed it back to pre-COVID, which doesn't make sense to me because I actually kind of liked it. It gave a little bit more. It gave more teams a little bit more roster flexibility. They did it this offseason. So it's either a pup. Hopefully, if somebody's watching, hopefully you're smarter than me. It's either a pup or it's some sort of IR. I think it's an IR stint that they changed where you can put somebody on
IR because it was the IR. Yeah. You can put someone on IR and they can come back off after like 3 or 4 weeks.
But that's
breaking
no longer
news
the case.
as of a minute ago, guys.
3-4 weeks.
We're breaking news now.
As of a minute ago, Giants wide receiver Dante Pettis is no longer with the Giants. He's now with the Bears.
Shucks.
Wait a minute.
I think he was good depth. I think
they took Rice and John too. What's up with the Bears taking our? I mean, they feel we took the draft pick. So now they're taking Rice and John. They're taking Rice and John and Dante Pettis. This is how
I just really hope we keep John Ross. But we could get back to
he's not on the team. I don't think
he's not on the team. I don't think. Yeah, I think he's going too.
Okay, we could listen, man. Every single time we gave him the ball, he delivered.
It was something good.
Can I get a John Ross?
Can I get John Ross?
Listen, I'm not disputing that fact. I'm just saying I don't think he's here. No, I'm pretty sure he was a free agent. Yeah, I think it was a 1-year deal that he signed. Yeah. So that's not going to happen. Okay, cool. I have a question for you, Justin. What were your thoughts on the absolute reset of our scouting department? How's that make you feel? Because this is your wheelhouse right here, Justin. This is this stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's an absolute reset yet. Now, I'm sure there are still going to be moves that are going to be coming, and I'm excited to see who they're going to hire as the head guy of head scouting, the head of college scouting that, they took out Chris Pettit. And then I know they kind of made up a position for Kyle O'Brien. Like, that's what the Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman did to bring that guy in from Detroit. O'Brien, they made up a position and they made a new position for him. So I don't know if they're going to be replacing that guy. But, somebody who I'm, that's most interesting to talk about is they hired Dennis Hickey. He was the Bills senior scout since 2017, and he was the Dolphins GM while Joe Shane was there. And he's hired as the Giants' assistant director of player personnel. And something that's significant to talk about with Dennis Hickey is that he was the Dolphins GM in 2014, 2015. That's when you had Ryan Tannehill and Joe Philbin in there. Their first year, they went 8-8. And then the second year, they went 6-10. They fired Joe Philbin in the middle of the year. And then they just cut ties with coach and GM. Dolphins kind of were just like, we're done with it. A little bit of a trend of the Dolphins, maybe cutting ties a little too early with people, not really allowing them to do their full stuff. Brian Flores, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing that's significant about Dennis Hickey is that Joe Shane when he came into Miami, I think he came into Miami around 2012, 2013, circa around there. But he was just kind of a scout.
Mm-hmm.
He was a national scout for the Dolphins. And then when Dennis Hickey was hired, he did not clean house, or at least he kept Joe Schoen around, promoted Joe Schoen to director of player personnel. This is the first hire that Joe Schoen has made in the front office. So the new acquisition that Joe Schoen has made in the front office, where he has had direct, like, kind of like familial ties to a person that he's worked with before.
Right.
Brandon Brown is from outside the building. They brought in like a national scout from the Bears, and they also brought in a national scout from the Colts, who I do not think Joe Schoen has had previous ties to. So Dennis Hickey, as the assistant director of player personnel, is the first person with direct ties to Joe Schoen. And that's a nice change, because what's been the criticism of the Giants over the last decades is that they just bring in people that are close with them, bring in people that they've worked with, and then they just hope for the best from there. Where Joe Schoen, outside of Dable on the coaching side, and then outside of Dennis Hickey, has not done that.
Kush.
In terms of the new hires, so I'm not gonna lie to chat, I really only found out about them right before the stream. I have a couple articles that I pulled up and was reading though. I appreciate the addition Mike DeRice or DeRice, however you pronounce it, from the Colts, just because I like what the Colts have done. Since basically I want to say 2018 is when a lot of people point out, but honestly I've been cool with them since 2016. It's just that offensive line didn't get together until 2018. I like the fact that I'm reading here.
Spent the last 10 years as a scout. He's been there for the last 10 years with the Colts.
Yeah.
If he's been there for the last 10 years, that includes Andrew Luck then.
This is correct.
Not that it's hard to, to scout. Yeah. That was a hard job.
You guys need to know something, okay? I do not give Joe Schoen credit for our first round picks. Those were layups. Those were layups. But everything else is what I care about. So, Andrew Luck, that was a layup, bro. We knew Andrew Luck was going to be great.
I'm seeing a couple hidden gems here. At least one of them I do know, and I am a fan of, but he recently got traded to the Vegas Raiders, Rocky Sin. I think he's an underrated cornerback. He's also part of the reason that they got Isaiah Rodgers. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know this player, but Zaire Franklin is listed here as well. And then Dennis Hickey, Justin basically gave the laydown on him with the Dolphins and whatnot. He was also with the Bucks from 96 to 2013. And then after the Dolphins, he followed Shane over to the Bills. We've seen a lot of people that were over there with the Bills with them. So, I mean, I like the additions. I don't know much about them. I just like the fact that we are seeing somewhat of some turnover in the scouting department, because I think that was needed, just like how I think the medical department needs to have a little bit of a turnover.
That's what I'm hoping. Oh, yes.
Did you guys watch that Giants Life video?
Yes.
I did not get to see it yet, though.
I saw it. Yes, I watched it.
Go ahead and spoil it. It doesn't matter.
It's very
no. I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, you already know what happened. Oh, Kush, we took Neil and Thibodeau.
No, we didn't. We traded out of 5. We traded out of 5, and I
don't know, man. I saw some tweets saying from that episode that we took Akeem.
And then Dave Gettleman came back and he took the rest. He made all the rest of our picks.
Well, you want to know what? If you were to tell some people that, they would have believed it. But here's my thing, Pest. Did you see the boards? Did you see the technology that was in? I
was going to ask that same question to y'all because listen, I noticed that at the draft room just looked different. It looked so different than that draft room that they were in last year, where it was Gettleman and Judge, and it looked like there was no fucking body in there, and there was no computers, no TVs, no nothing. It's an empty room. It was like, what the hell are they doing in there? Oh man, I love the fact that they are using more technology. I love the fact that they're. Here's what I really like from the draft. I didn't want us to talk a whole lot about the draft, but I do want to make mention of something because I don't think I've spoken on this. So Shane and Dave's talked about scenarios, right? Mm-hmm. They talked about how they went through every scenario they possibly could to see how the board could fall. If it falls this way, we're doing this. If it falls that way, we're doing that. If it falls this way, and let me tell you something. This is a very, very simple concept, right? It's a very simple concept of let's prepare and go through it. But none of us was thinking that. I didn't think let's go through every scenario. That's not something that I would be thinking about. So when that popped into my head and they said that, I was like, that's actually really impressive. And I don't think anyone has ever done that here before Joe Shane did it at this draft. I don't think that's ever been done because it doesn't seem.
I would disagree.
Really?
I would disagree. Bro, it's a GM's job to prepare for every scenario.
Right? Like, we worry about it.
I definitely think, we could definitely talk about Gettleman, but to say anybody that was here before, I think that for sure in the past, Young or even Reese have prepared for stuff like that.
I mean, probably, but I don't think Gettleman was doing it. I don't think Gettleman.
What's rare?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a fair thing to say, but that's where I'm kind of giving a rock eyebrow.
What's rare is the whole having 2 top 10 picks thing. That's the thing that's rare.
That's very rare.
So that's why the Giants had to go through. I mean, yeah, you're going through scenarios anyway. If they just had pick 5 or 7, you're going through the scenarios anyway. But I think it's the fact that you had the 2 top 10 picks and that you wanted to acknowledge, the 2 positions of need plus getting the 2 studs. I think those kind of scenarios, including even the trade down element of it too. So I think having those 2 top 10 picks really, really changed the game. And
it did.
I'm glad that they had him, and I'm glad it worked out.
Okay, so that's the only thing. That's the only thing I think Dave Gettleman for is that extra draft. Thank you for that, but don't come back.
And really, you're talking about the different scenarios. No, we thank Jason Garrett for Andrew Thomas.
Yes, we sure do.
Xavier McKinney, we thank who?
Joe Judge.
Probably Joe Judge. Yeah,
Joe Judge. All right, okay. Azeez Ojulari.
We thank you for Azeez.
Or yes, we do thank you for Azeez.
We do, but Pest, you were talking about the different scenarios, right? And where I think we're as fans, I think we all would have panicked and we all would have been like, get Neal right away. Just get the tackle.
Listen, that's what I said. I said that live. Like, okay, Neal is there.
Me too.
We all did. Everybody said, get Neal.
I'm going to give a shout out to Nate. Nate. Y'all all know Nate. Nate talks football. Nate was like, no. You take Thibodeau right here, and I'm like, but why? And he's like, because there's two other linemen there. You're gonna get one of the other. And I was like, holy shit, that's so smart. Why did I say that just now? That's absolutely genius. And that's exactly what they did. And I was like, well, Nate, I think you're smarter than me right now. This is why I'm a coach and not a GM. I'd be like,
I gotta say something that has kind of gone unreported. Sam Prince, I was talking with him, and he said on Bleeding Blue that the Eagles were looking to trade up with the Panthers. I don't know if this is true.
Oh, no. I've seen... I'm surprised this is the first you're hearing of it. On draft night, there was rumors coming out. On draft night 1, there was rumors coming out that they wanted to trade up for Kayvon.
Okay, because I thought that Sam Prince was just plugged in because he was talking with some really knowledgeable, really in tune people.
That could definitely be it. But we know for a fact that the Eagles want to trade up, and obviously we all saw the Jerry Jones Dallas Cowboys draft board. You got both of their guys.
You'd rather leave one of 2 tackles on the board than Thibodeau. Like that's Thibodeau. That's and I wasn't even thinking like that, but.
Because I was so worried that they were gonna if their top tackle was off the board, I was worried that, like, in the back of my brain, I was worried that they were gonna go cross, and that was my apprehension. That's why I was just like, oh my god, if you have your pick of the tackles, I don't trust that you're not gonna pick Charles Cross, so just take the top one and then just worry about pick 7 later. But that's the point where you talk about the different scenarios, Pest, where hey, they run through that. If both tackles were there for them, then they were going to go with BPA and then get their tackle after that.
Right.
So that's where I think it comes in.
Yeah, that's what I give him credit for. I give him credit for navigating the situation properly. The picks are easy. We know all these guys that are up here at this level of the draft are pretty damn good. So we're going to be okay. But I really give him credit for that, because I tell you what, man. And then I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the assistant general manager,
Brandon Brown.
Thank you. I love him. I love him so much.
I loved him the the second Howie Roseman basically threw a fit to try and get it back.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, this dude is it, bro. This dude is it.
I love this guy. I just love the way the things that he says. Now, again, I don't buy into things that people say anymore. I learned my lesson with Gettleman and Joe Judge, but I can acknowledge when someone sounds like they know what the hell they talking about, and he sounds like he knows what the. I'm not questioning him. He knows what he's
be here for long.
No, he's not. He's gonna go be a GM somewhere.
Yeah, some team's probably gonna scoop him up, huh?
Shout out to the boss, Bird Gang. What's going on with you? How you doing?
Hi.
What up, man?
He's gonna get snatched up in like a year or two.
Hopefully, I was about to say, hopefully we could keep him 2 years. We'll see.
He's gonna get snatched up so fast. That guy is smart.
If the Giants hit the over in Vegas, over under for win total, so if they get 8, the Vegas over under 7.5 right now, which I'm gonna bet the over. I'm gonna put $50 on the over. That's my plan. And if they hit the over, Brandon Brown will not be here next year.
You're right.
Damn.
You're right. You're right.
Listen, especially I'll tell you this, especially if like one of my favorite, if not my favorite day 2 pick, Josh RZeroB, I have faith that he could become our left guard of the future. If that man does that like very quickly, Brown is gone because we know he knows offensive linemen and we know he knows how to get talent in the mid to late rounds in offensive linemen.
I was going to ask what was your favorite day 2 pick because that's my favorite day 2 pick. I love that pick. I love that player. He is versatile. He can play everywhere. He can do everything. I don't know how effective he's going to be at this level, so I'm not going to sit here and pontificate that this guy's going to be a starter. But man, do I like having him on the roster. I like that.
Justin, real quick before you go, a quick question for pass yes or no. Do you have one of those calendars that have like vocabulary words on them or something?
No. Why? Because I use big words?
No, I've never heard pontificate in my life before you just used it.
I mean, that's one of those $6 words that like a Stephen A. Smith would use.
But I can't remember the last time I listened to Stephen A.
I mean, that's like old school. Like I heard him say that years ago. But I will say this: the secret is this. My mom made me read the dictionary when I was a kid.
Oh my god, you had to read the dictionary.
I will do that. Cover to cover. I had to do it multiple times. Cover to cover. Read the dictionary. Yeah, my mom used to make me do it. And I have pretty good vocabulary, so I can't spell for shit though.
Pontificate. I'm gonna look that up.
Pontificate.
Express one opinion, man, in a way that's considered unknowingly pompous and dogmatic, is what Google says.
Yeah,
I think that's like your personality trait.
Yeah, I pontificate a lot. Yes, I pontificate a lot. Hey, listen, I got a good vocabulary. All right. Awesomeness Sports. Shout out to you. Appreciate you for popping in. Okay.
What up, Awesomeness?
So, all right, we've got about 20 more minutes ish. I want to get you guys' thoughts on this upcoming training camp / preseason. What are things that you are specifically looking for from this team throughout this training camp and the preseason? I'm not talking about the regular season, just the training camp, OTAs, preseason. What do you want out of this? Kush, I'm gonna start with you. What are you looking for?
Training camp? Okay. That's hard, man. Okay, so training camp, I'm looking for some definitive that tells me my favorite day 3 pick in Mr. Daniel Bellinger beats out and just solidifies himself as our starting tight end. I guess that's one thing I'll look for. I'm looking for, I don't know, great highlights from Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas, because I think that we have both the best young tackle duo and also the best young edge rushing duo. But I definitely think our tackle duo is better than our edge rusher duo, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like they're going to give them the business for maybe a year or two before, maybe just a year before the edges catch up and start, battling back, iron sharpens iron and whatnot. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really sure if I'm looking for anything in training camp other than the tight end thing. Maybe I'll try and keep my eye on see how Dan Belton, if he's making any noise, because I didn't really like the Dan Belton pick, so I'll definitely want him to prove me wrong. And then out of preseason,
why didn't you like the Dan Belton pick?
There's a couple
Dane.
reasons. Well, one,
I'm just
Dane
curious.
Belton. Yes, thank you for
Sorry,
correcting me, my boy.
Dane Belton.
Dane Belton. So there's a couple reasons. The first and foremost,
That's
I think
safety
that we
out of
didn't.
Iowa, right? Safety out of Iowa. Okay.
I thought that we didn't need to draft a safety at all this year. I was like, I think Julian Love is gonna do just a fine job. We're good there. The second reason is I don't think he's that good, but I'm no expert. That is just my opinion. I don't think he's that good.
He's not exciting.
I think he's just gonna end up being a special teams player for us. If I'm gonna be honest with you, we shall see.
I was going to say, from what I've seen, he looks like very solid depth. He's not going to be a starter. He's not going to blow your mind. But there will be times. When Justin and Bobby are breaking down the game that they're going to call out his name. They're going to go.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Say, look at this play right here, and then
look at his tackle, because that's what he does best, tackling.
They're not going to say, look at these plays. They're going to go, look at this play right here. Look at that effort. Look at that tackle. Look at that. Look at him finish, and they'll say that a few times during the season. That's what I think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be anything super crazy, but I think he's going to be solid.
I think Dane Belton's going to be one of those guys that he's going to make plays off the TV screen that you don't see.
Yes.
Because I think he needs to beef up a little bit, and then he can be a little bit of presence in the box. But I think overall, where you kind of saw him line up and what you saw him do at Iowa is be this dime backer, where he's a safety, but he's almost lining up as a cornerback. And you're seeing in an NFL league that is more about passing and is more about 10 personnel spreading out the field, when the Zach Taylors of the world are coming along, you're going to be asking your safeties to kind of go down and cover those wide receivers, cover those tight ends, and ask them to cover in man coverage. That was part of the reason why Jabril Peppers, his snap count dramatically decreased from 2020 to 2021. He was not great in man coverage. It wasn't bad. He was not great. So I think Dane Belton, that's kind of like the best parts of this game. So I don't get excited by him, especially as an early fourth-round pick. We're not talking about a late fourth-round pick. I don't get overly excited about him as a player, but I think he is going to be one of those guys, hopefully, that turns out as a pro. It's kind of like, hey, look at Dane Belton just doing his job. And if that's the type of player that he can be, even if he's not great, then I think that's a win. So.
Yes.
And I want him to be what you two are saying that you think he can be. Because, like I said, I view him even less than that. Like, as a special teams player, and I would be really... Well, I just feel some type of way if we drafted a special teams player in the 4th round. I feel like we should get what you guys are describing, which is a really good depth player that can make the occasional play. And, you know, especially with the fundamental stuff, and like Justin was saying, not necessarily that's going to be shown in the frame on the TV. So I hope I'm proven wrong in there. But with the training camp, like I said, I guess the best thing, the tackles and Daniel Bellinger. Preseason... I'm looking to see the exact opposite what we saw last preseason, which is, can we get some offensive production this time? That would be it.
Okay. Justin, what are you looking forward to, or what are you looking for specifically doing OTAs and then in preseason? What are some things that you're specifically looking for?
Did you ask this question intentionally because you know me well, Pest?
Yes. Yes.
Do you know that training camp is my favorite time of the year?
Yes, of course
I love training camp. I love that your record is 0-0. I love that you get some football, but you don't get too much football, because when we get too much football as Giants fans, that means that football's actually on, and that means that we're losing. So going to training camp, especially the first thing can I curse on here, Pest? Can I drop an F-bomb?
It's my fucking show. Of course you can.
The first I'm fucking looking for is for the Giants to open up fucking training camp this year. That's number one.
I was about to ask, bro. I know you love training camp, but are we even allowed to go? Like, that's the real question.
I hope so. I hope so.
Selfishly, I kind of made my name as kind of like a little bit of a person on Twitter and a little bit of a content creator. I kind of made my name training camp summer of 2019, being the fan in the stands, covering training camp, live streaming, tweeting out videos, giving thoughts, giving live reaction to what's happening. And this is 2019, by the way. This is Eli and Daniel Jones. This is
I remember that. I just want to put this out there that I remember all this that you're talking about, Justin. I remember every bit of this.
This is Lorenzo Carter breakout year, right?
Yes. Yes,
so
I remember.
second year under Shermer and Betcher. Like, let's go, let's do something. We got it felt like new life that we had, right? So that's what that training camp was, and it was so fun. And now I feel like if we're able to get in there and we're able to kind of quote unquote talk about, witness training camp, like think about the battles that you're going to see. Kush, you already talked about it, but think about the battles that you're going to see with the edges and the tackles. Kayvon, Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal, Kayvon, Azeez Ojulari, Andrew Thomas, Azeez Ojulari, Evan Neal. It's insane. Those battles are going to be absolutely insane. You know, even the backups, like, you know how fun it's going to be seeing like Ellerson Smith going up against, you know, I know Matt Parrott, they may slow him back, but if Matt Parrott's ready to go, Matt Parrott versus Ellerson Smith, which one of the backups is going to win? That's still like a fun matchup that you don't want to like look away from. Yes. Cordell Flott. Rookie,
oh my God, I can't wait to see what Flott does.
Hashtag fear the Flott. I'm going to get it trending, man.
See what Flott does.
Versus Wendell Robinson. If they're going to be in the slot, right? If Flott's too small and he doesn't weigh enough and they want to put Aaron Robinson out there, Cordell Flott versus Wendell Robinson. Darnay Holmes, how is he going to do as this man coverage corner versus Wendell Robinson? Like, it's so fun. Think of like these matchups that is going to be so fun to see, tweet about, take videos about. And again, I'm saying this from a content perspective, but then also just as a fan, I'm so excited. And they better open up those doors because I trust my eyes. I trust my eyes on what I see with training camp. And I do think training camp, it's the most important time of the year for also a football team. It's not just remember when people were saying last year with the whole Jason Garrett thing, oh, we're saving plays, he's saving the plays, he doesn't want to show his hand, maybe they're not practicing everything, blah.
That's what
blah,
I'm
blah,
saying
blah,
with
blah.
The preseason, man. I want the exact opposite.
Blah. Now preseason games, yeah, like I want to see something.
Vanilla though, they're vanilla reason. You want to see
those last year were the vanilla of the vanilla. Can we get just regular vanilla?
But what I care more about, number one, I want it to be with my eyes, not just relying on the beat reporters. But when you have beat reporters that are tweeting out every single day, the offense was bad, the offense was bad, the offense was bad. I understand, yeah, their beat reporters are looking for clicks, blah, 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 blah. But you want to know what? If the offense was good, they say the offense was good. And if they
would,
you know,
and if it's every single one saying it every single day, there's probably something going on.
Yes, and it's not just going to be, okay, week one, we're all just going to snap our fingers and we're all just going to get it together. Because especially you look at last year's training camp, Saquon Barkley, his first day of training camp I was there to witness it, and it was the joint practices against the Patriots the last week of the preseason. That's when Kenny Golladay came back. Kyle Rudolph came back. Kenny Golladay was still catching passes on the side during the joint practices with the Patriots. So many significant players for the Giants, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Nate Solder and Matt Parrott missed parts of camp. You know, and Nate Solder was the starter, and he missed like the majority of camp. Again, his first day of practice was the joint practices against the Patriots the last week of the preseason. I think that stuff matters. I think it matters. Cohesion, practicing together, especially on the offensive line, getting a relationship familiarity with your quarterback. I think that's partially why you didn't see Kenny Golladay get a single contested catch attempt or catch from Daniel Jones throughout the regular season. They were never able to form that cohesion together when they were actually able to fully practice in training camp. It matters. I'm sick and tired of fans excusing training camp and the offense isn't scoring good. Everybody's hurt. Don't worry about it. It's all going to work out. No, like that shit matters. And I'm excited to see it work out. Be ready, be on the field, score some points in training camp. I want to hear the offense has a good day. I want to hear the defense has a good day. I want to hear the back and forth between those two units. And I want to see the battling happening. Training camp is important and I'm so excited for it.
I just need to say something about Justin Pinnock real quick.
Sure.
First and foremost, Justin Pinnock's tackle form is fucking amazing.
Did you see my tackle video at St. Pete? I tackled the dummy.
Of course, I saw your tackle video.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Do you know that I watch? Have you not realized, Justin, that I am the all-seeing entity of the Giants YouTube / whatever the hell else community? I know everything. I know everything that's happening all the time. That's why y'all keep me around, because I know things and I tell you things. Yes, his tackle form is it's amazing. I always have to. I always appreciate good form tackling. Okay, as a coach that has to teach this shit, when I see someone tackle properly, keep their head up, and yep, there it is. Oh, I love this. Listen. There's been a few times that Justin has given me a chub. Bam! That's one of them. God damn it, I love that tackle. I fucking love that tackle.
Almost broke my neck, too.
I love that. That's good form, right? You came low, you had your head up, you wrapped up, you picked up, you drove down. Perfect tackle. I love it. I love good tackling, okay? Which is funny because I'm a Giants fan and we don't tackle for shit. But anyway. Justin gets me fired up when he talks about this training camp shit. And this is the reason why I specifically asked this question, because a lot of people don't understand how important this time is, right? A lot of people think that this is just practice, but this is deeper than practice, y'all. Okay. Anyone that's ever been on a sports team, especially a football team, anyone that's ever served in the military, anyone that's ever done anything like that, you understand that preparation, that early preparation you do is vital, not because you're working on the mission, but because you're working on the cohesion. Cohesion is so important when we're talking about team sports. Football is one of the most unique sports on the planet because it requires 11 people to do their job at the same time, okay? And in order for 11 people to do their job at the same time, they all have to know what each other is thinking. So it's important for these individuals to come together away from their family, away from their friends, away from their kids, a little bit away from the media, away from the paparazzi, away from the bullshit. We're getting ready to spend 3 weeks together, and we are going to work our asses off. It's going to suck. You're going to be tired. You're going to bleed. You're going to sweat. You're going to cry. But when this shit is over, you will be ready to murder someone on the field for the guy to the left and right of you, because that is all that matters. I love this time of the year. I love it because we get to look at these rosters from all over the NFL and speculate on who's going to be good and who's going to be bad, who's going to have a better year, who's going to have a down year, which coach is going to be they'll pop.
Are you guys looking forward to another training camp brawl?
Fuck yeah!
Yes.
If they don't fight, if there is not a fight at this training camp, it's a problem. You know how many fights I've had in football practice? Shit.
One. Not every day. I don't want like hostile, but I want one good one. Like
when do you want it? Like, do you want it at the beginning, middle, or end?
I want it like week 2. Like
it's the middle, right?
It's gonna boil up a little bit. There's gonna be some shoving. There'll be some beat reporters like, oh, there was a shove. There was some shoving. It's like, all right, so that's week 1. Week 2, pop off a little bit. Or joint practices and fight them.
Yeah. Another team. Who are we doing joint practices with this year?
Who would the Bills do them with anybody? That's my question. We have to go back. We have to go back. Oh, I know who to message. We have a good relationship with the Cover One guys. And they cover the Bills. So I'm going to ask them if they had joint practices when they do the Bills have joint practices. That's what I'm going to ask them.
Yeah, because the Bills, what's going on, Miss Bird Gang? Shout out to Miss Bird Gang, boss lady.
That's Mrs. Bro.
Mrs. She's the boss. She's a boss lady. You know, Miss. Listen, you know how.
I'm just saying, put some respect on the prefix.
Whatever. Okay, that's boss lady. That's big sis. We chilling. Fucking Kush, he fucks everything up, man. He's thirsty on Twitter and an asshole on stream. Okay.
I can't remember the last time I was thirsty on Twitter, so I need y'all to stop the cap right now.
All right. Let's go ahead and kick into a final question here, and then we will give everybody an opportunity to say their final thoughts, and we'll get ready to wrap this bad boy up. So here's what I want to know. Who is your sleeper player of the New York Football Giants this year? Who is your sleeper?
Hmm.
I want to know, who do you think is the person that we should be watching all year long, because they're gonna be an issue. So I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to think on it. Okay, I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to think on it, and I'm going to give you guys my answer.
Please do.
I'm going to give you guys my answer as to who I personally think. I
think you don't have one yet, and I think you're buying time.
No. Who is the dark horse? I'm going to tell you. I personally think that the dark horse, the person that's going to be like the most valuable player for this team, and this might be easy, but I don't know if it's going to be easy.
Wait. But there's a difference between most valuable player and sleeper player.
I mean, like the most valuable sleeper player.
Okay.
Like the most valuable player, right? That is not like a start, like that is not like a high level starter. So here's who I think is going to be the sleeper. Okay, this is who I think it is. I think it's going to be Darnay Holmes. I think Darnay Holmes is going to come out of nowhere and have a monster year. I love Darnay Holmes. I love Darnay Holmes. I love Darnay Holmes. First, the reason why I love him, because he looks like a 53-year-old man in the face. Okay, and that lets me know that he is mature, right? And he is seasoned way beyond his years, because he looks like an old ass man in the face. I've noticed that since the first day he showed up, and I was like, something about that old faced man right there. It's an old faced man. So Darnay Holmes, that's who I think. And I hope I'm right, because I really do like Darnay Holmes a lot. So let's go ahead and go on over to Kush. No. Justin. Kush, you went first last time. Justin.
Yeah.
Who is your sleeper dark horse, most valuable dark horse on the team?
I guess this is the guy that I first thought of, even though I may not be happy with it, but I'm going to go with Matt Breida. I really like Matt Breida, man. I was picking him, and I had I had him circled, I think at the start of I want to say the 2020 season, as like this guy in this 49er backfield that could really do something. And, hey, if Shanahan actually believes in investing in an RB1 and actually giving an RB1 carries that he should be giving carries to, instead of, giving carries to random running backs, but it still works out for them. And I thought Matt Breida was really going to break out with the 49ers. And he didn't. And then he went to Miami, and then he didn't break out there. And then he went to Buffalo, and he didn't break out there. And he kept on just getting in these situations where he should be like RB2 and he should be getting more carries, but like just the way the depth chart went, it just kind of blocked him. So this year, I think he's RB2. Like, I don't think Saquon Barkley is going anywhere, even though, again, I would like him to be traded, but I don't think he is going anywhere. I think Saquon Barkley is probably, he's kind of going to get hurt. He's maybe going to miss a couple games here and there, right? I think that's kind of like a safe bet to place.
Yeah.
Matt Breida is going to have games where he is RB1, and with that awesome speed and his awesome ability to run outside the tackles and run outside zone, I think the Giants do want to implement Brian Dable. They want to implement that a little bit. I do think they have the personnel, especially at the tackles with Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal, to run that outside zone scheme. I think Matt Breida is going to feast, and he can also catch the ball a little bit.
That's a good pick.
That's a great pick, man. Yeah, Breida could have like a crazy ass year out of nowhere. He could. Breida's talented. He's a very talented football player. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Shout out to Jason Shea Germain of Nerd Cage Live, my guy. Shout out to you. Appreciate
with the whole government in here. What up,
the
man?
whole government up in here. Okay, now, Kush, who is your dark horse for the most valuable dark horse on the team?
So two people popped into my mind initially, and then when you said non-high level starter, somebody else popped in my mind. So let me give the non-high level starter, and that's Mark Lewinsky, our right guard. Because I really, really like Mark Lewinsky.
He's a high-level starter. What you mean, bro? He's been a starting guard for like
he has been, but he's a complete sleeper. Nobody's thinking about Mark Lewinsky. Ain't nobody thinking about him.
I'm thinking about. I love Mark Lewinsky. I think Mark.
I
Lewinsky,
love him as well. So maybe I should change my answer from that because my thing was I
coach.
think that because listen, the reaction when we signed him from Giants fans, like they were all like, "Who?" question mark. Like it was all that, and they just don't think that he is as good as a player as we probably could have gotten on the market that was available, right?
Could be true.
I think otherwise.
Which potentially could be true. You never know. There's always
We'll
a
see.
player that you don't think is going to be good on a new team, and then they have some monster year. So he may not be the best guard that was available. He may not.
We'll see.
But
I'm not saying he was the best guard available, but what I am definitely saying is he's like a top 20 guard in the NFL, regardless of position, in my opinion, right?
guard. He's a good guard.
Yeah, and like that right there is gonna do wonders for our rookie tackle in Evan Neal.
Mhm.
I like how right now the two rookies on our teams are in between two veterans, or at least they're next to a veteran because there's nobody on the outside. Neal, he got Glowinski on the outside, and then we surrounded Zidu with Feliciano and Thomas. And Thomas is a veteran, I guess, at this point.
Lemieux's gonna win that job.
Hey, what do you guys think about the tight ends?
What? No, forget that. What'd you say, bro?
Tight end.
Shane Lemieux is gonna win the left guard job.
Wait, what you just say?
Stop the cap, bro. Stop it.
What'd you just say?
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. What Kool-Aid are you drinking?
I don't think that's like an outrageous take. Shane Lemieux is going to win.
Is a great depth player, and I'll leave it at that. He's a great depth player.
I don't think Azudu's ready yet, man. I don't think he's ready.
Well, I think over the summer he could beat out Shane Lemieux.
I don't think Azudu. I don't think Azudu is ready to go like that. But
so why did you have the reaction you did?
I don't know if it's Shane Lemieux.
I'd probably put Mark. I'd probably put Garcia, bro. Garcia.
Not Max.
I don't know. I just don't know if Lemieux was the guy. I'm sorry. Like I was excited about Lemieux coming out of college because I thought he could come here and develop, and maybe OG Bobby Johnson can do some wonders with these players. Okay, maybe OG Bobby Johnson got the juice. I don't know, but
I'm gonna say something that is outrageous.
Oh shit! Here you go.
Roy Mbedeteka is gonna be the guy that wins the job.
What?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see what he does. I know he hasn't really played like formal football, so. But anyway, Lemieux played 30 snaps against the Broncos before he got hurt. Right? He looked like a different football player. It was 30 snaps, and it was only 30 snaps, and that is a terrible, terrible sample size. He looked like a different football player in pass protection. He was mirroring, and that's when he had that torn ligament in his knee, whatever he had. Like, he was playing with that. He didn't just do it against the Broncos, like, throughout entire training camp. Another guy that missed, like, all of training camp, Shane Lemieux. He, like, missed all of training camp because he was, like, hurt. And he,
Listen,
and then after the Broncos, that's when he kind of
The fact is that like you say, he got hurt. So we don't know how much that injury would affect him. It could negatively affect him.
I think he's going to be ready to go.
Shane Lemieux,
it's not like Nick Gates.
Yeah.
Nick Gates is probably not going to be ready to go. But I think Shane Lemieux
Nick
is going to be
Gates,
ready to go.
I'm sorry. This might be a hot take. We need to cut Nick Gates, bro. There's no point in keeping that man.
No, why? Like, I mean...
Bro, he's going to be back most likely next year, and in that time, we could probably draft a better center.
Put him on a list. You could put him on a list. Just
you can IR.
My question is, what is the point in keeping him?
Because he's like a good football player. Because honestly, like if Nick Gates were healthy right now, Nick Gates would be the second best offensive lineman on the team.
Oh, he'd be
Andrew Thomas.
He'd be starting. He'd be starting.
He'd be starting. But once again, the way I'm looking at it, I'm like, we're probably because he's gonna be back next year. I don't expect him to come back this year. We heard even from the moment the injury happened, they're like, it's a potential 2-year injury, right?
Yeah.
It leaves open the door to just getting a starting center via draft or free agency or whatever. And if that happens at that point, I'm like, man's coming back after like 2 years gone. He's coming off of a very serious injury.
Like, just because he's on the team, that's not
see.
blocking you from signing or drafting anybody. So, like, it's not. So I think why not?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
just
just save money.
No, I mean, here's the thing.
You
Like,
keep him for now. I think you keep him for now. I think you just hold on to him for now and see.
I'd rather like really. This is I may be saying this because we're close with Nick Gates, whatever. There are other moves that I would rather make instead of just cutting Nick Gates, because I think there are opportunities that they can explore. By again, I keep on saying putting him on a list, and I recognize how vague that is. I think if Nick Gates is legitimately hurt, there are ways to keep him versus just letting him go and cutting him. Like, you know what I mean?
You want to know why I'm keeping Nick Gates? There's one specific reason why I'm keeping Nick Gates.
People because also really like him, and the team likes him.
Because he fought Aaron Donald.
Oh my God, that's so overrated.
I don't give a shit.
That's so overrated.
Kush, that's
so overrated.
That's who
I'm sorry. Like that kind of mentality of just having a tough player is exactly what Judge had last year, man.
Hey, Kush, you realize we're talking about playing football, right? We're talking.
But what I'm talking about is you're taking that and put it on a pedestal.
Yo,
That's what you're doing.
I need tough motherfuckers on my football team, bro.
You're putting it on such a pedestal, like, he fought Aaron Donald. Like, bro, it's not that serious.
Let me talk to you about this too. We're having a mailbag pod Friday for Talking Giants, and I hope one of the questions that Bobby picks is talking about leadership on this team. You look up and down this roster, and I'm not one to really like dig too deep into this, but you look up and down this roster now that especially Logan Ryan's gone. Who's like going to be that guy that's really going to kick some ass and get these guys into gear? And I don't think
it's Nick Gates.
No, yes! He's not this rah kind of guy, but I do think Nick Gates can stabilize a room. I think he could be like a veteran presence.
So wait, hold up. So your veteran presence in the room after losing Logan Ryan is not Sterling Shepard, the guy who's been here the longest.
I'm talking about
Gates.
Position, like it comes down to position group and then also team wide as well. Yes. So instead of guys that are just solely brand new, like, hey, Nick Gates he's been here. He's been through the run of the mill a little bit, especially coming from being an undrafted free agent as well, having to develop, having to play multiple different positions. You know, this is what a guy like Azudu is going to maybe have to look to, being like, you know, kind of like this mid-draft guy. The other guy who I'm forgetting his name from North Carolina, you know, they're going to have to develop their technique. Thank you. Their technique is kind of wild. At UNC, they're very, very good athletes and they're kind of strong, but their technique is kind of wild.
To draw it back to what you're saying, the O-line leader is Nick Gates to you.
He did have a C on his chest last year. So I think stuff like that isn't irrelevant. I'm not saying that it is the most relevant thing, but I don't think it's irrelevant, if that makes sense.
Right.
No, I agree with you, but I feel like you guys, going back to my original point, and this is more to Pest than just than anything, is blowing out of proportion the fact that he stood up to Aaron Donald.
Listen, I want
tons of offensive linemen every single year standing up to Aaron Donald. It's not a defining feature the way that Giants fans are making it out to be.
How many times have you seen an offensive lineman and Aaron Donald fighting in the middle of a game? Like, how many times have you seen that? Like, really?
Fighting, no. But like, they stand up to him all the time.
He's the only person that threw hands with Aaron Donald on the field. He threw hands with this man. He fucking threw hands with this man. Okay.
Okay.
I want people like that on my squad. I want people like that on my team. You're a crazy son of a bitch. Now, here's the deal. If I have to cut Nick Gates, if I have to do it, it doesn't happen until the end of the preseason cuts. I keep him here all the way.
I'm not even saying to cut him now. Yeah, I was talking about at the end of this season that's coming up, because I don't see him returning this season healthy. That's what I'm saying. At the end of this, so basically, what is that, the 2023 offseason, right? That's when I'm like, you know what, he can go.
Yeah, if he's not going to be healthy, then I mean, absolutely. Like,
right now, he ain't going nowhere. Okay, listen, because we are now at 9:10. Okay, and I told these gentlemen that we would stay until 9 to 9:15. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. So Kush, you are actually getting ready to go. Are you on your channel or are you on KB's channel?
It is on KB's channel tonight.
Okay, so everybody needs to head over to KB's channel as soon as this stream ends. You need to head over to KB's channel and go hang out with him and Kush. Kicking some ass as the Young Guns. Where else can everybody find you at, Kush?
So obviously on YouTube at The Hub. Every single social media platform is The Hub _YT, and then my Twitch channel, which I've taken a break from because I had to do a lot of draft stuff. It was The Hub YT _gaming. I'll be back up with it soon, probably this Friday. I gotta double check, see if I have anything else planned on Friday, but we're gonna be continuing the WWE 2K22 playthrough. And in terms of Giants videos, I don't have anything planned particularly for this week. I'll probably do a little bit of talking about the schedule, which is tomorrow, That's about it.
All right. Okay, cool. And listen, y'all, we were blessed and humbled to have Justin Pinnock of Talking Giants, okay, who is a subdivision of Giant Boy Media? Say it's subdivision? Are they a subdivision? Or are they
No, we're part of it, man. You know, we're
Yeah, they're part of it. Yeah.
John Boy Media? And here's the deal. Because this is actually one of the first times that I've got Justin to come here and stay the entire stream. He normally pops in and he's like, I'm too busy for you bitches. Bye. And he leaves. But we got him to stay for an entire stream. And I have to say, I have watched Justin Pinnock and Bobby Skinner grow over the last few years. And I am absolutely proud and happy for the things that you guys have accomplished. You guys literally started with nothing. And now you're part of one of the biggest sports companies.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Planet. That is fucking awesome. Everyone that does content aside from me should aspire to be a Justin Pinnock. I listen, y'all. Yeah, you should aspire to be a Justin Pinnock. I like my day job too much, so I'm just waiting for Justin to talk to Clem and figure out a way for me to be on John Boy, but I don't have to move to fucking New York or New Jersey, Justin. I'm not moving back to Jersey. I'm not doing it. Okay. But
Justin, did you get to meet Dwayne Wade, bro?
No, I did not get to meet Dwayne Wade, unfortunately.
For those of you that don't know, the show that Talking Giants that built up from also the company John Boy Media, they got some serious investors now. Dwayne Wade being one of them.
Listen, they are on the come up, and I don't think anything is going to stop them. And I just want to watch the journey. I just want to be able to kind of watch the journey in a front row seat. I don't need to be on the vehicle as well. I just want to watch it. I know those guys, so. So that's awesome. Where can everybody find you and your partner Bobby Skinner? Where can they find y'all for more
just look up the names. I think that's how that works online. Bobby Skinner, Justin Pinnock, Talking Giants. We're everywhere. We're looking to do some fun things even in the off season. We're trying to cook up some player interviews. We want to get some players on, hopefully some big players too, not just like, oh, this is like a mid player. We're trying to shoot for the stars. With these guys, we're gonna have some more interviews. We're gonna have mailbag pod. We're gonna do what we do over at Talking Giants, and we're looking to grow up the football coverage too. So there's a Talking Football channel that if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to, we're really gonna attack that this year. And that's that.
Dope. Well, listen, I just want to say thank you to everyone that came and hang out with us tonight. This was a great show with no direction, and those are always my favorite shows, right? Is the shows where we say, and this is the reason why Rob and I do it this way, right? We have some key things that we want to talk about, but we just kind of let it go and let it flow and chill. And this is, you guys actually get a peek of what we do when the camera's not on and we're sitting in a diner somewhere in New Jersey, right by the stadium, and Candlewick. I wasn't going to say the name, but you actually put the name out there because that's officially our meeting spot in Jersey. So, and the food's pretty good, even though
I have yet to go. Hopefully, I go next year. I know, Justin, you're going to be on like most home games, right?
I go to every home game. Game, and we may go to London.
Here, look at this bullshit. I can't have nice things. Fuck you, Kush.
That's not me.
We may go to London. We just pitched that today, and I'm definitely going to Nashville. So I may be going to upwards to 10 Giants games this year.
Nice.
Wait, no,
Does
actually
Candlewick
11.
Have good milkshakes?
11 because there's 9 home games and then 2 away games. So I may be going to 11. That's fucking insane. Does Candlewick have good milkshakes? Yes.
Yeah, they got good milkshakes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm only going to go to maybe 3 or 4.
I usually go.
Do you have a partial package, Pest?
Oh, I got the full thing, but
you're gonna sell some games.
Okay, so I guess I'll go ahead and say this while Justin's here. So I feel important. The goal is to donate some of those tickets to my high school football team so that they can go see some Giants. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah.
So that's actually the real reason why I bought these season tickets. Like, I'm a Giants fan. I want to go and see the games. But when I was a kid, the only way I was going to see the New York Football Giants was on TV. So if I can facilitate for some people from my hometown to go watch the New York Football Giants on my dime, as blessed as I am, I'm gonna do it. So that's the real reason why I'm buying these tickets. And I keep presenting myself like I'm this really good guy on the internet because I do nice things for people. But y'all don't forget that I'm an anti-hero, okay? I'm an anti-hero. But yeah, that's why I'll only probably go to 3 to 4 games a year, depending upon the games. And if there's a game that I don't feel like driving up to Jersey for, then I'll probably
I'm really excited to see the schedule release because usually I go to games late in the season for it to be around my birthday. This year, I think I'm gonna go to one earlier. One, the weather, and 2, I'm tired of going late when there's none to play for. So
yeah, I wanna
the event that there is none to play for late. I'm like, I already saw the game early.
I want to organize another tailgate. But I know, Kush, you got to go, and I know we want to wrap this up. But I do want to organize a tailgate kind of early on the season while the weather's still warm and when it's not snowing or raining like we did for the Eagle game. So we'll get
the Washington game. It was like raining too, man.
It was raining.
It was like raining.
Washington game. Afghanistan, what's going on? Hey, listen, you're late, but whatever time you show up is on time, and that's a perfect opportunity for us to get ready to get the hell up out of here. So listen, for Kush of the Hub, for Justin Pinnock, talking Giants versus the fucking world, I am your boy, PTA Sports, and we're going to get ready to get the hell on out of here. So I hope that everybody has a fantastic rest of your week. Take care of each other. Be good to each other. Show love to each other and stop being assholes on Twitter. And we will get up with you guys later. Y'all take care now. Deuces.